How do we read the big Congress meeting that Rahul Gandhi just led on Modi and Amit Shah's home turf? The big Congress meeting in Gujarat, where the party was supposed to be signaling a change, but really some might say it ended with the same old, same old. I'm Barkha Dutt, you're with the Mojo story. On the program today, we look at the big political message, if there is one, that has emerged from the big Congress meeting that took place in Gujarat, the home turf of Prime Minister Modi and Home Minister Amit Shah, but also a state where the Congress made an attempt to reclaim the legacy of Sardar Patel and, of course, invoked Mahatma Gandhi. But beyond the references that were made to history, it was really the speeches where everybody's attention was. In these speeches, Rahul Gandhi likened the British to the RSS and the BJP and said how, just like the Congress, the Indian National Congress had once fought the British, today they would have to fight the RSS and the BJP. It was Shashi Tharoor who made perhaps an interesting speech about how the Congress needs to change, saying that the party must be a party of hope and aspiration and not a party that is associated with negativity. But there are those who believe that the Congress does not have either a central message or a central plan. I want to introduce on the program now our guest today, senior journalist, columnist, and author Neerja Chowdhury is with us, who in her Indian Express column argued precisely this. Her column was written before the AICC meet, but she made the point about how the Congress is a problem both with its leadership and its organizational heft. Neerja, thank you so much for joining us. I want to start actually by asking you if you had any central takeaway from that big Congress meet. It was an opportunity perhaps for the Congress to maybe make a disruptive set of announcement, maybe change something about the way it's functioning. But none of that really happened. Did you think anything significant was said that sounded like a new beginning or a different way of thinking?
Look, I felt choosing Ahmedabad as the venue for the party was perhaps an attempt to go for the jugular, because Gujarat is the home state of Prime Minister Modi, it's the home state of Home Minister Amit Shah, and it has been the laboratory of Hindu nationalism. It's been a laboratory for the BJP for a long time. And in many ways, the takeoff of the BJP nationally has come from Gujarat. Then for the Congress to choose Ahmedabad and not Patna, where elections are due year-end, which was the normal thing to do. And many people in the Congress said privately, why not Bihar? Why are we having it in Ahmedabad? Ahmedabad elections in 2027. So it was as if you're taking the bull by the horn and say, okay, we are going to revive the party here. We are going to put our strength here. In 2017, we got 77 seats, no smaller number, when the BJP had got 99. So it's not as if they were way behind. So if they got their act together, could they really pose a challenge to the BJP, particularly as there are signs of fatigue in Gujarat with the BJP? So if you'd ask for my takeaway from the meeting, I would be dishonest if I didn't say it was disappointment.
Elaborate on why you think the meeting was a disappointment.
The party was very clear on where it lacks, where the shortcomings are. And clearly the biggest shortcoming, of course, is the organization. Barkha, you tell me one state in India today where the Congress can claim we have strengthened our organization there. Can they claim anywhere? You and I can count the number of states where the parties, the organization is weakening. It's eroding. Even in the 3 states where it went to the polls, where it thought it would win. Haryana, Maharashtra, Delhi, it's further weakened. In Gujarat and from Gujarat, what was the action plan for the party to say, this is the way we are going to rebuild the organization? Apart from, the land of Gandhi, you invoke Gandhi as, Congress is Gandhi. And you invoke Sardar Patel as an icon of the Congress. You are trying to get him back again. with, the BJP has co-opted Sardar Patel. So apart from references back to the history, who are the people who are going to revive the Congress organization? Who's going to look after the North? Who's going to look after the West? Who's going to look after the East? Who's going to look after the South? If they said, okay, these are the 4 vice presidents or executive presidents that we are going to put in charge. We are going to put in charge of Sachin Pilot. We are going to put in charge of Shashi Tharoor. We are going to put in charge of DK Shiv Kumar. We are, give names of people who are going to rebuild the organization, and people are going to work with them and they're going to be held accountable. It's not that the Congress party lacks talent. It does not. It's not that the Congress party lacks experience. It does not. But therefore, there was no concrete plan to revive the organization. That was the biggest, disappointment. And even if you had sentiment going in your favor, like you began to have in the 2024 elections, with the Dalits turning towards the Congress party, unless there is an organization to convert that sentiment into hard votes, what is the point? That sentiment is not going to add up to anything. And unless the Congress party starts to win elections, you will not attract younger people. You will not have new people coming to the organization. So it's a chicken and egg situation. But that was what was missing, a clarion call. I wish, of course, Shashi Tharoor, as you said, struck absolutely the right note. We have to strike. We have to appeal to an aspirational, a younger India, and not talk about this is not right and that is not right. Okay, many things are not right. The other side is you're not happy with, and rightly so. But what is it that the Congress party stands for today? And it's a very fast changing world. Trumpism, tariff wars, artificial intelligence. We are going to see changes by the day. What is the Congress party's plan to meet those challenges, to locate India in the larger scheme of the world alignments that are taking place equally rapidly? So those notes actually were not really struck at Ahmedabad.
So in your column, I'm going to play out the Shashi Tharoor speech, but in your Indian Express column, and I think we have a screenshot of it, in that column, you also made the point that the Congress, you believe, may have lost the will to win. That there's a lack of, there's a lot of, that they're kind of waiting for Modi's fortunes to turn. That it's without a plan. They're waiting for that time when there will be a fatigue that will set in with the incumbent. Do you believe the Congress has lost the will to win?
I wish I could say, no, Congress is perking up again after Ahmedabad. I feel, yes, somewhere, given the invincibility of the other side, or the perceived invincibility of the other side, possibly the Congress has, internalized this to say, okay, we wait for what I call the default moment. We wait for the day when people get tired of a Modi-led BJP, and people, when they get tired and fed up and angry and there is disaffection, they will naturally turn to us, because we'll be the only national alternative, even without an organization. And therefore, let's wait, let's bide our time, and let's wait for that to happen. Otherwise, if they had not internalized this, the Congress would have behaved very differently, acted very differently. And I pin it down not just to that there isn't an ideology. There is an ideology. There is a need to convert that ideological frame into catchwords, slogans that the people identify with. A caste census, yes, Rahul Gandhi says a caste census. He wants to me, it's equal to, we are now going to reach out to the OBCs, Dalits, and Muslims. It's a very different focus. But that has to be translated into programs, slogans that people are excited about. The OBCs in recent elections have not been voting for the BJP, despite the talk of that census. So leave ideology, leave our organization. Yes, those are places where they need to do better, but it is that fire in their belly to say, we will come back to power, and we will strategize, we will fight, we will do whatever it takes to get back to power. That is missing. It's become a soft, flabby party, and I thought maybe in Ahmedabad we'll see different signs, maybe from some of them, but overall that was not the clarion call that the country was hoping, many in the country were hoping. the Congress will strike. And it did
So,
not.
yeah, so soft, flabby party without fire in its belly, and maybe caught up in a lot of negativities, which is something that Tharoor warned against in his speech. I'm just going to play out that statement and come right back. Take a look.
The Congress Party must be a party of hope, not of resentment, a party of positivity, not only of negativism, a party of the future, not just of the past, a party with a positive narrative and not just criticism. I hope we will leave here with a resounding message to the nation that we are here, we will fight, we will be resolved, we will focus on the future, and we will build a better India for all. With these words, I am happy to second this resolution and ask for your support for its passage. Jai Hind!
Now, it's interesting that that speech comes from Shashi Tharoor, whose own relationship with the Congress leadership has been quite strained. There are persistent rumors that he may not stay with the Congress because he feels sidelined. He doesn't see a future there. But, when you say the Congress has become a soft, flabby party, basically their calculation seems to be कि एक ना एक दिन तो मोदी जी जाएंगे and तब हमारा वक्त आएगा. But you have argued in your column that that might be too late from an organizational standpoint.
Well, it may be too late, yes, but it may take 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. Rahul Gandhi talked about in Gujarat, the party may, it's maybe a 50-year project. Now that may or may not be true. But if you, it's all right to be realistic. But if that is the note you're going to strike, you're not an NGO, you're not even a movement. Well, at one level, you are a political movement, or were at one time. But people are not going to flock to you if you're not going to have that will to power, that killer instinct for power. Because politics is about power. Power is about winning elections. The ideology, of course, and programs, of course, and agendas must be fulfilled, but they become meaningless if you're not going to get to power to be able to implement them. And I think that Shashi Tharoor, I absolutely 100% agree with what he was saying from the stage there. And I wish they would give him he himself feels that he hasn't been given enough responsibility. I think he should be given more responsibility. People like that should be given more responsibility. And there are many of them in the Congress party.
Now, the Congress historically was the big tent party. Today, Rahul Gandhi has positioned his battle with the BJP to be an ideological one. But that ideological messaging, if someone were to say, okay, what does the Congress stand for? It would be quite confusing to summarize it. I want to play out a clip from Rahul Gandhi and then ask you what you think the Congress's central message is. Does it even have one? Take a look.
एक बात याद रखिए, भूलिए मत, आजादी में हम सिर्फ अंग्रेजों से नहीं लड़े थे, हम अंग्रेज और आरएसएस की विचारधारा के खिलाफ लड़े थे. ये सारे जो आरएसएस के लोग हैं, इनकी विचारधारा फ्रीडम स्ट्रगल की विचारधारा नहीं है. जिस दिन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन लागू हुआ था, जिस दिन यह किताब लिखी गई थी, उस दिन इस कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन के खिलाफ आरएसएस ने रामलीला मैदान में इस कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन को जलाया था.
Neerja, my question to you is, when you hear that speech, what do you think? Because it's some history, it's some history lesson. Like, what do you make of it?
Well, he's clearly drawn the battle lines. He's repeatedly done that against the RSS, the BJP, particularly the RSS. In terms of what it stands for, as ideologically, culturally, and every way. What its civilizational project, But Shashi Tharoor is right. What are you going to be standing for? What is your message going to be? Yeah, and Congress has had a message. It's not that the Congress hasn't had a message. What it stood for equality and justice, a humane society. But it has to put it across. Of course, I find it very difficult to meet the challenge of Hindu nationalism of the RSS and the BJP, and to go temple hopping. What is soft Hindutva, what has been described as soft Hindutva, is not good enough, because that is not cutting ice. Whether it's good enough or not, it's certainly there is a Hinduization of Hindus that's taken place. And how does the Congress party meet that challenge? That there is a certain sentiment, there's a rightward shift. So, and do it intelligently, appealing to what Shashi Tharoor called aspirational India. That is not clear. And I think, yes, that Rahul Gandhi is clear. He's against crony capitalism, Adani Ambani. He's against RSS. What it means is, it means a cultural nationalism. It means Hindutva. It means Hindu nationalism, whatever. He didn't spell it out there. But in positive terms, what do you stand for, which younger people, particularly 65% of India under 35, will identify with? I meet people now with the Congress losing out in state after state. I met somebody in UP who said to me, it's by, standing at the street corner, just having a chat, a younger person, who said, we don't know what the Congress is. And we don't know who are the Congress people. Yeah. We know what Mayawati stands for. We know what Akhilesh Yadav stands for. We knew about Mulayam Singh Yadav. We know about BJP. We don't know anything about the Congress. And that is a hard reality. Over 30 years, you've not been in power. And so also in Gujarat, and so also in West Bengal, and so also in Tamil Nadu, and so on and so forth. Yes, it needs to spell out what it stands for in positive terms. Much more clearly, that people identify, ordinary people identify with.
Finally, when Priyanka Gandhi entered parliament, there was some expectation that there would be like more energy. The Congress had three Gandhis in their ranks, and, at least the siblings were going to make this sort of combined presence felt. And I remember talking to you, and I think you also had some expectations that this would be an energizing influence. But net, as they say, she doesn't seem to have had a lot of political consequence, either internally or externally.
I'm very mystified by, the very promising start that she made in the winter session of Parliament, when she made her debut as an MP. And every day she was making news, making headlines. And that's the way to be, to capture the eyeballs. And suddenly she's gone completely quiet. Why? I don't understand it. Is it a policy of the party? Is it the policy of the party high command? Is it her own decision? And if so, why? She's there as an MP, and people expected her to play a bigger role in the party.
So what do you think has happened?
I don't know. As I said, I'm mystified. Is it that, they don't want her to do anything that takes away from Rahul's preeminent position, or the sheen he acquired after the Bharat Jodo Yatras? Would that be a rival influence in the party, a rival pole in the party? I don't know. I really don't know. I'm only speculating, Barkha. Is it that?
Yeah. We don't know. We simply don't know. Before we end, Neerja, you said that, in Gujarat, there was an attempt to make a big political message. But the problem is that there is no message without the winning of elections. And the Congress, if it loses a few more states, will be in really choppy waters where they can't even wait for, the Modi magic to fade further, which seems to be, or to fade, which was their hope at in June 2024. But it doesn't look like that at all now. Modi seems back very much as the foremost dominant force, especially after the BJP's rapprochement with the RSS.
Absolutely. And they are very quick to course correct. The Congress is slower. And certainly, say come next year, the Congress has a chance in Kerala. The Congress, if it gets its act together, could have a chance in Assam, because it does have an organization there. But Karnataka is going to, when the elections take place there, is going to be in trouble. It's not going to be easy at all. Telangana is becoming again a very curious case. Revanth Reddy doing things which are, bulldozer politics. He's supposed to be, at least many feel, is getting close to the Modi, Mr. Modi himself. And therefore, what is he about? So the future of the Congress party in Telangana, question mark. What will happen to Himachal? Many people feel the party may not come back to power unless it does something different. So it may lose states and may just gain Kerala, for instance. So yes, where does it leave the Congress party if that kind of thing happens? Whereas I think if it got its act together in Gujarat 2027, if it got its act together with Akhilesh Yadav in Uttar Pradesh, and went for the kill, those are the two states that are going to change the mood in the country in 2027 for 2029 elections. It will set a different tempo. And
sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, so I thought Ahmedabad was chosen for that reason. But in terms of a concrete plan, that has not emerged from Ahmedabad.
Yeah, nothing much seems to. I mean, we couldn't even find one statement other than Shashi Tharoor's speech to play out that seemed to mark a departure from the past. They could have announced a shadow cabinet. They could have announced a new organizational structure. None of that happened. So absolutely, you're right, Neerja Chowdhury. Thank you. As always, a pleasure, and talk to you again soon. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Barkha.
Bye-bye.
It's great to see you here. Thank you for watching our work. If you haven't subscribed yet, don't forget to click the bell icon and subscribe to Mojo Story and support independent, robust journalism.